Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Beginner's Guide to Mixed Media. Today we're playing with Dina Winkley Gloss Spray. I will be using the Cheddar, Tangelo, and Gilt from Close to My Heart and also a 12x12 Close to My Heart stencil. Just showing you that I am doing this for my Tugfest mini album. So I will be creating 3 backgrounds and a stencil print. So I'm just taking my Close to My Heart 12x12 stencil, spraying the Tangelo through it, and on the third pass right here, I will take another white sheet of 8.5x11 cardstock and do a stencil print. And as you see there, as I pulled it up, I pulled the stencil up too and threw it on the ground, which was kind of fun. So I picked that up, kind of get everything cleaned back up. I'm going to take the Cheddar and the Gilt. It's gold. Okay, so they look kind of the same when they go on, but the Cheddar is a muted yellow, obviously, a cheddar color, and then the gold is a shiny, and they look kind of the same when they go on, but when they dry, you can definitely see the differences. And in the close-ups, you'll be able to see the splatters that had the gold shimmer in it. I set these to the side to let them dry. If you want to know, my splatter box there is just a Close to My Heart pizza box that my orders come in, and when they get too messy, I just throw it away and use another one. Well, recycle. So as you've seen, the first one there was the stencil print, and I'm going to use that to back my photos after I get them cut down. I take these 3 pieces of cardstock and cut them down to basically 8x6, leaving just a little bit more on the side, so like 6.5, so that when I use my Bind It All cinch machine, I have a spot to bind everything. Thinking that my albums are going to be super uber duper chunky, but it's totally fine. And I just want to make sure that I am putting all of the mixed media for my 3 backgrounds in the center and cutting off the blank edges, basically. I'm creating 1 album for my mom, 1 album for my sister, and 1 album for myself. So now these photos are my brother waiting in line for his turn to tug. And if you haven't heard the story on the Tug Fest, it is LeClaire, Iowa, and Port Byron, Illinois. And they have Illinois versus Iowa, and it's a yearly thing other than 2020 COVID. And they have tug of war literally across the river, and it is super cool. Illinois won, by the way, which is where we live, and the teams that my brother tugged with. There were like 13 heats of 13 teams, and they are literally playing tug of war across the river. So it is super fun and super cool. And my brother did say it was the worst 3 minutes of his life. Standing there, holding, the currents of the river. It's a mess, but it's cool. And he said he's going to do it next year, and we're going to go watch him again. So because I have the mixed media stencil print here that I'm going to back all my papers in, I go ahead and use some dry adhesive and a little bit of that liquid adhesive. Still not my favorite adhesive, but it is working. I have learned to just use a lot less. So I'm going to go ahead and use my big scissors here just to trim up the edges. And then I'm going to come in with some of the patterned paper from the Paige Evans Bungalow Lane collection, which I will show you here, to double mat all my photos so that, we have somewhat of a border. I don't do a lot of embellishment on these pages simply because it's, going to be bulky enough with as many pages as I have created. I'm going to take some of these tags. Now the ones that are the same tags, they will go in my mom and sister-in-law's album. And then the one that's off is my album. So this right here is a banner that says a little me time. This one was kind of coming apart, so I do take some of my glue and just kind of add it, so when I put it down, it will not tear off of the sticky part, which was kind of upsetting, but we make it work. I put that over my brother, and then I'm going to come in and just do a little bit more embellishments to theirs. I'm going to go ahead and fix those naked tag holes, run some twine, baker's twine through that, trim it off, and it's just a color that matches the collection. You guys know I bought 2 of everything for this collection. Total mistake, but I used half of it for my October daily and the other half for this fun 3 albums, which I am so gonna run out of embellishments Who would have thought, right? I don't know. So I do take a little epoxy tree and then an epoxy plant. I do add just a bit of liquid glue and go ahead and get that stuck down for a little bit of embellishments. Then I come in with stars and I'm going to pop them on their layouts as well. And then I come in and I gotta stop saying that phrase. I apologize, I said that a lot. I'm going to use my G2 black gel pen and do some sketchy lines around the outside just to finish the layout off, because there's not a lot of embellishments going on. It really did need something. So I'm going to do that to all of them, and then we're going to come in and start decorating my layout for my album. I really like the simplicity of this layout because I've been really into the more is more on my channel lately. So it's good to just use these where I'm like very selective in the bits and bobs that I use. The closer that I get to the end, I will actually probably embellish a little bit more. But I would rather have a few in the middle that aren't heavily embellished and, you know, run out at the end than have enough to get all the way through the album. So I do take that little floral piece and add it to mine, and then this is just going to say this here, because, you know, it was fun. And that is it. That's my layout for today, guys. So I do hope you enjoy, and I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye.